Welcome to the Forex, and here we're looking at the US dollar. We had been counting 5 waves up, well, 5, 3, 5 structure up from this low through here in terms of 5 waves up to this point. A correction here, a bit small and whatnot, but we used the levels and we kept the count to the upside, and we'd been looking at 1 and 2, then up for the third wave here. So it's possible that we can have a top in place now in this last little 5 wave structure here, but I don't want to call it in while it's sitting on support here. So this would have to be a retested resistance here. That midpoint 50 would have to become the resistance here, but even then it would still have to find the 20, the group 1 pivot here as resistance 2 to help confirm that, but the 50 as resistance here would help on the long side for the euro if you wanted to trade the euro up from the low, and of course this would reflect back into other pairs as well. So this is sort of where we were yesterday as well, so there's not really much I can add to this except we just need to wait for it. I mean, this move down through here is just in 3 waves here, so yes, it can move up from here, and as I mentioned, this could just be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and take us further up there, or this can be the 5th wave. So this line here, it is a balanced line. We can use it as a line in the sand, so I think just keep an eye on that. And also with the euro as well, I don't have a clear structure here as well to the upside. So yesterday we were looking at considering this as wave 3, wave 4 and wave 5 here, looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here, but I'd need to see 5 waves up here, and I don't have that yet. I've just got the 1, the 2 and the 3 up through to here, so this could be a 4, and if we see a move that would be up here above this one here, then we've got like a little impulse wave to the upside. Then we would see a counter trend in 3 waves, and then further upside here as such. Have I got a smaller chart here? Yep. Let's just have a little look at this here. Oops. Yeah, I mean, even we could consider this the low here and work it from here, but I think we need to take it here. I just don't trust spikes really in FX. Let me just have a little look at this further here. It does look corrective. It does look like it's a close of the session, so it doesn't make it any easier, but normally the A wave is sharper, and the C wave, if we're looking at an A and a B and a C, if the C wave is on more of a lazy angle here, that's actually a strong point here, so that could move up from here. So look, just to be sure, the 136.30, the 30 would be the top of group 1. If that became the support, then you could trade long off that. If the pivot becomes the 2, if that becomes the resistance, then it's going to be brought back down into here. So it is a bit of a guessing game picking this low here, but the reason for doing it is that the daily chart is oversold as well. The momentum is still to the downside, but because it's oversold, if it can bounce up from that oversold point of view, then that will bend the momentum and change it to the upside, and then that would flow in that direction. So look, it's still toying with top on the dollar and bottom on the euro. We know that the euro main support is down at the 135, but the 50 and 60% retracement level for the move down from the 140 is still around the 133, the 132 area. So, it's viable as well. But look, the main point is that there's a possibility that we can be pushing up off this low here, but we just don't have the evidence. The evidence, can be building, but it's just not in place yet. So I don't know really what to sort of say. It's all sort of high risk really to a point. The 136.30 is a leg up there, but it's not, you have to be tested support. So these moves up here are important. these retests are more important really, because you need a price point that's been tested that you can work for, and you can place your stop under that volume there. The Australian market also sort of same in a way as well, as the euro in a sense, also sort of searching for its low here. This is just the daily chart, and you know, it's popped out of this particular trend line that it had here, and that's quite good really. I expect that in a wave 4. Wave 4s always break the trend line, so that's what you, if it doesn't, then there's a problem, and it has, so that's good news. So so it appears that we do have a wave 4 here. The problem is that do we have the low in here yet? That's the question. This has all been a bit sort of messy here, somewhat. Now, I know that in the bigger picture, if the 2 here, this is all group 1, 1, 2, and 3, if the 2 becomes the resistance, we simply have a bearish outlook at that point if it becomes the resistance, and it'll be pulled back. If the top of group 1, the 3 there, becomes support, then we'll be looking up to the 95 after this, because we've got this A, B, and C here, and support here. So that would be the trade that we're looking for. It's always nice, of course, to get in sort of early, and can we do that, and at what point would that be? So with that in mind, we can look at a couple of things here. One of the most important levels from 92 to 93 is always the midpoint at 50 here. It's just the balance point between these two, and this as support or resistance can really sort of, you know, create a bias of what side to sort of be on. However, the other important number in here too that's important is the 92.72 area here. So I would suggest that if the 92.72 becomes the support, then glean a small position and look to add on top of it when the 93 becomes into play. Okay, and of course, if the 92.20 here becomes the retested resistance, then you'll be looking to the short side here. A couple of things here that I wouldn't worry about the wave count too much, because this well, you know, realistically, we were looking at this here as being wave 1, wave 2, and then we had wave 3 here, and then we really haven't had another low here besides this spike here. And as I mentioned, I don't trust spikes in the market, but so it was a bit tricky to call this as, you know, as wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then looking for wave 5 down. But wave 5 hasn't moved lower than wave 3 here. It's sort of truncated. You know, we had a triangle pattern on our charts, and that's still sort of viable, but this move down here is definitely in a very clean 5 waves, and I've already, you know, pulled it apart and looked at it. So a triangle pattern wouldn't accommodate this structure here as being 5 waves. It would in terms of having it as an A wave here in blue, a B wave here, and then a C wave down here. Then we could have it as the ending triangle pattern, but that would need to play out first. So it's a bit tricky, but because we have 5 waves here, we should see a counter trend here, and I was thinking of it as an A and a B and a C here, and then another 5 down through to here. So I'm just a little bit unsure. I know that we're sort of fishing for a low, we're looking for a move up. I just think we need a bit more clarity on it before getting sort of getting trapped in the situation. So I think just chill out here. You know, I'm going to talk about trend traders here, you know, scalpers that are scalping between sort of whole points is a different kettle of fish altogether. So I just think we need to wait that out. That said, for scalpers, we've got support on 92.50 here. Let me just sort of check this out a little bit here. I mean, the supply levels really is this group here where it is right here now, and that would be. Let me just have a little look at this. I mean, this move here looks corrective, so it wouldn't surprise me if this was the A wave, the B wave, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. So third wave here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into this 92. So it can fail here and move down from here. So it really comes back to that 92.72 being support. Yeah, that's, you know, that's what I'd be looking for here. Yeah, I mean, it can move down from that point. So it's not, we don't have confirmation. If that's 92.72 becomes support, by all means, get a small position and look to the upside. But as it stands, it can be a corrective rally. The other point here too today is that we've got GDP figures coming out at 12:30 for this market. And yep, that's really about it for the Asian session as such there. So not much there. Right, okay, moving on to the Australian, the Euro Australian. And yesterday we were looking at this being a little A, B, and C here for the A wave, the B wave, and then the C wave up through to here. And then we were looking for an A and a B. I think we must have been in here, yes, must have been here yesterday, because I think we'd seen these 5 waves down here. We were looking for an A and a B and a C coming back into here, then a C wave down to here as an A and a B and a C. So that's panned out. And now we've got this 5 wave structure up through to here. Now that's quite sort of healthy actually. So it's a nice 5 wave structure, and this so far looks like an A and a B and a C here. So support, I did say on the 14730, well, I'd always say top of group 1, but you might be able to glean a position if you can see a nice support on the 20, the 14720. If you see a nice support on that, get a position here and then look to add twice as much on the top of the 30 here. But if that's correct, if we take this move out through here, the top of this one here, then we'd be looking at a stronger move to the upside, because if this is 5 waves, then this would be here, then we'd look for another 5 here, another thing, we'd have that at minimum. That's why it's important for here, you know, to get in around here and looking to add on the 50 here. There will be corrective patterns at the 50, and there will be profit taking up here. There will be profit taking at 4772, and there will be at 448. There will be bids there, but it should move higher from that. So if it makes a new high above here, you can count the 5 wave structure up through there. So that's pretty exciting. The pound yen, now a bit of a rock and a hard place. It's moving back into supply here at 172. So there's not a lot to do here. If the 172 became support, but that would take ages to do that as well. So there's nothing really to do here, and the reason it will take ages for is because basically there will be, you know, 5 waves up to the A wave here, then there would be from here, and it may be above here as well, there'll be some type of corrective move back, a 5-3-5 pattern, and then another move up through to here. So you know, not a lot to do here. It's silly to go long into, you know, a level like 72, you know, on this side of it. It's just, you know, not the done thing, even though it can move a bit higher through here. Yeah, probably better off looking at the euro yen here, a bit the same really as well actually. So we're expecting this to move from 139 up to the 140 area here, and then have the correction there as well. So the trade was from the 139 to the 140, and if we drill into this trend here, then we'd be looking at it like this. So I just really wanted to draw your attention not so much to this wave 1 and 2 here and 3 here like we looked at before, and 4. So this is expanding now. This 5th wave is expanding. So we can see that this is basically one wave here, a correction here, and then there's this structure here as well. So in a way, it's basically the 1, the 2, 1, 2, 3. It's not finished there yet. So we can go from here up to here, 4th and 5th. So there will be more to come here, but just trading to the 140 here is what is the plan. Right, that's it. Alrighty. Yeah, the other thing today too is that, I mean, obviously they've got the G7 meetings in play as well, and the ADP non-farm employment figures and the ADP figures be coming out tonight as well. So they are always a bit of a lead into what happens to the non-farm payrolls on Friday. All right, cheers.